Great, that's great. Okay. I sadly can't hear anybody else talking because I switched to my old Mac. But I can see you typing in the chat. So lovely to see everybody. So if you speak to me vocally, I won't hear you, but I can see you typing in the chat. And I'm glad you can hear me. Oh, and thank you, Amy. Don, would you like us to go ahead and get started?
Yep.
Great, okay. So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It is so good to be with you. I've been looking forward to spending this little slice of Shabbat with you in the middle of my finals here in Philly. And I know we always really need Shabbat, but this is a really good time to have some Shabbat. When I see your kitty, Amy, your kitty's ready for Shabbat too. So we can all take a deep breath together and get ready to sing and to bring in a little bit of peace to our homes and to our families tonight. And I thought today, since I'm now a proud resident of Philly, that I would start by teaching you a song that I learned from one of the awesome Philly Jewish musicians here, whose name is Ali Halpert. And I don't know if you've heard her music before, but she is awesome. And I was able to go to one of her concerts at a local shul, which was really more like bringing the shul into the concert hall, and they had everybody sing and participate, and it felt like being back at Shir Tikvah. It was so lovely, and everybody was just singing their hearts out. And she taught us this song, which when I started singing it, when she taught it to us, I started singing it. I could literally feel the muscles loosening in my jaw and in my shoulders. And I looked around and people were crying, and it was just this amazing collective moment of recognizing everybody is carrying so much tension right now and so much grief. And it felt so wonderful just to let a little bit of that go together. And so these are the words up here on the slide. I'll sing the whole thing through one time, and then we'll go a couple times together through each section. So here's how it goes all together. Loosen, loosen, baby, you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. And that repeats. Go ahead and try it with me if you want. Loosen, loosen, baby, you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. And here's the next part. Holy breath and holy name, will you ease this pain? Let's try that together. Holy breath and holy name, will you ease this pain? Let's go back to the beginning. Loosen, loosen, baby, you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby, you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Holy breath and holy name, will you ease this pain? Holy breath and holy name, will you ease this pain? Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Loosen, loosen, baby. You don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Shabbat Shalom. And I can't wait until we can be in the same sanctuary again so we can sing that together, because those two parts weave together in a really beautiful way. But maybe y'all, now that you've learned it, can sing it together. You can find it on YouTube if you want to hear how the parts fit. That was so lovely to sing with you and to see you singing along. And I'm sure you saw that my little tefillah kitty was joining us in the background, who was drawn by the power of our prayer. So let's move on to our next song. I was really feeling called to sing Elech Hamda Libi tonight, thinking about the longings and the desires that our hearts have, and just crying out for the presence of the divine not to be hidden, and for mercy for ourselves and for the world. And so let's sing this song together. Elech Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'anati talam. Elech Hamda, Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'anati talam. Elech Hamda, Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'anati talam. Elech Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'anati talam. Elech Hamda, Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'anati talam. Elech Hamda, Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'anati talam. Elech Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'anati talam. Elech Hamda, Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'anati talam. Elech Hamda, Hamda Libi, Chusana ve'anati talam. And I'm just doing a quick check that everyone can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up if the sound is good. Great. So let's continue together with Shiru Ladonai. This is another one of my favorites to do all together in a round, which I know isn't possible tonight. But if you have another person in your square, you can make it happen, or you can sing in a round with me. So this can absolutely happen in different ways, even if it is not synchronous. So Shiru Ladonai, sing to the Lord a new song. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Aseru miyom leyom Yeshuato. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Aseru miyom leyom Yeshuato. Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Aseru miyom leyom Yeshuato. Yedid Yedid Nefesh is another one of those beautiful texts from our tradition, which is all about longing for connection and for closeness and for the presence of the divine. And so we continue with that theme of just wanting connection, wanting closeness, wanting to feel that presence as we move into Shabbat. And so we sing Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman, Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman, Meshochav doch el Retzonach, Meshochav doch el Retzonach, Yarutzav doch K'mayal, Yishtachaveh Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman, Yedid Nefesh of Harachaman, Meshochav doch el Retzonach, Meshochav doch el Retzonach. Or Zarua, light is sown for the just. Or Zarua la tzadik, uleishrei lev simcha. 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 And now we light our candles. After we've just sung about light being sown for the just, we bring in our light of Shabbat to our homes. And for once, we don't have to call on Lynn. I have my Shabbat candlesticks unpacked. You're off the hook, Lynn. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Is everyone feeling up for learning another new melody tonight? Give me a thumbs up if that feels okay. Great. So I wrote a little tune for, a little unnamed tune that started as a nigun, and I've been trying to find it a home with different texts. And I feel like it fits really well as a lecha dodi. It kind of has like a happy, beckoning, welcoming feeling, and it was feeling like the right tune for tonight. So I'll teach it to you first as a nigun, and then we'll fit it to the Lecha Dodi text. And I lovingly call this the Scottish nigun because I was listening to a lot of Scottish folk music when it found its way into my head. So this is the Scottish nigun. It goes, so I'm going to break that down into two parts and do it a little slower, and feel free to repeat in your Zoom square if you'd like to. So first part goes, let's try that. Starts the same way. So let's put it all together and try it together. Let's try it once more. If that pitch is feeling too high to you, motion like this and I'll take it down a little bit. How's everyone feeling? Or does it feel okay? All right, cool, let's keep it. So that fits with the words for Lecha Dodi. So let's try that together. So we go, Lecha Dodi likrot kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrot kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Now for the verses we go, let's try that. Then we go, so let's add the words in. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, hishmi'anu el ha'mayuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila, lecha dodi likrot kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrot kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. And then we continue on to our next verse with our verse melody. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, ki mekor habracha, mirosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh machshavat tchila, lecha dodi likrot kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrot kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orech kumi uri, 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 Adonai alayich nigla, Lecha dodi likrot kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha dodi likrot kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Boi, rise in body or in spirit, Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam besimcha uvetza'ola, Tochem uneyam segula, Boi chala, Lecha dodi likrot kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha dodi likrot kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Do we rise in body or in spirit for the Chatzi Kaddish? Yitkadal v'yitkadash meraba, Be'amad yivrach chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, B'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayidcho beit Yisrael. Bagala, uvizman kariv, ve'imiru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach, le'alam u'la me'amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma, ve'imiru amen. And if you're standing, we invite you to remain standing in body or in spirit for Baruch Hu. We'll do our call and response version. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. And we are seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. And whatever narrowness or constricting or Mitzrayim we are feeling tonight, I invite you to think about what redemption would look like as we step into this glorious feeling of expansiveness and sing our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha. Nedar b'kodesh, norat hilot o seifele, norat hilot o seifele. Yairai, 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 We turn to Hashkivenu as we wish for a sukkah of peace and comfort to spread over us and our dear ones, and over all those who are in need of comfort tonight. And echoing Amy, these are really beautiful photos, Dawn. And we sing together Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzidkenu, uvoenu, l'chaim u'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. In just a moment, we're going to rise in body or in spirit for the Amidah. We'll chant the first few blessings together, and then we'll have a few moments for silent prayer accompanied by these gorgeous photographs. And then we'll come back together with sanctuary. Adonai ata Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן את על החיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Adonai, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and in thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Adonai, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and in thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. We are thinking of so many of our loved ones right now who are in need of our prayers of healing, whether it's for healing of body or healing of spirit. And we'll take time together in community now to lift up those names before we sing Misha Berach. Ruth Rubens, Laura Bell, Barbara Kevorkin, Bonnie Diamond, Bill Pollock, Gerald P. Mondell, Tom Lemons, Irene Brown, Liliana Wolheim Martinez, Peter Feynman, Lorene Huckle, Annie Graham and her family, Nikki Reed, Angie Silver, Sarah Kianowski, Ayelet Gal Bat Chava Vehersh Shmuel, Stanley Roth, Debbie Gilman, Neil Daniels Midman, Anya Cable, Sue Boardman, Kathy Nath. And I invite us all to share in the chat box if you have other names that you would like to lift up. Ka Zimmer, Barbara Olkey, Bob Sokolsky, and for folks on Facebook, please go ahead and share those names in the comments as well. Barbara Kulinane, Ellen Lee, Jenny Chase, and if you are still typing, we'll continue to let those names fill up our chat box as we sing together. And these past few months, we are in need of this next prayer more than ever, it seems. We are in need of peace, a all-encompassing peace to descend upon us and all Israel and all who dwell on earth. So we sing together, Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom b'bromav, Ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevan, ve'imru Amen. shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru So we are in the final Parsha of Genesis this week, and I thought I would just share a couple of thoughts, and then if folks have musings or ideas of your own that you'd like to share in the chat box as we're discussing, I would love to hear your thoughts as well. So we have been deep in the story of Joseph and his brothers for almost this whole month now, which feels like a luxury. I personally really love this story. It's so narratively rich. I'm seeing nods. And there's just so much emotional detail and juicy family dynamics. And it always seems to be around a time of year when that's a message we really need to hear. How do we deal with relatives who might sometimes have conflicting or prickly personalities? Who's the golden child in the family? Where's the jealousy falling out? Where are these little fault lines of conflict? And at the same time, it's such a gorgeous story of redemption and forgiveness, but it's not easy. It's not wrapped up in a bow. It doesn't come right away. It's after a lot of struggle and a lot of pain. So I'm sure folks have been following this story all month, but here are some of the major plot points just to review in case that's helpful for any folks. So at the very beginning of December, before we started going into the story of Joseph and his brothers, we heard a really interesting parallel story about their father, Jacob, and his own struggle with his sibling, Esau, which, if you're familiar with that whole episode, lots of betrayal there. And in this Parsha, at the beginning of December, after decades, they finally have a tearful reconciliation. And immediately after that, we launch into this other episode about his children and their terrible conflict they have. So we have Joseph, the golden boy, gets the coat of many colors. His siblings are all jealous. They've got it out for him. He has this amazing talent for interpreting dreams, and somehow it's always a really unfavorable outcome for the people who are getting their dreams interpreted. And so his brothers do not take to that too kindly. They try to kill him at first, and then they settle for selling him into slavery in Egypt, where he rises to a position, an exalted position, as the interpreter of dreams for the Pharaoh at the time. And so we see this unfolding over weeks and weeks and weeks of our Prashiot that we're reading. And finally, last week, we have this beautiful reconciliation with his brothers, but first there's an elaborate plot to try to frame them for theft and try to keep one of them for ransom, and finally this tearful reconciliation and redemption and forgiveness. And it's just such a beautiful episode after all these twists and turns and the back and forth and all of the betrayal and all of the revenge. And then finally, this week, in Vayechi, our Parsha of the week, we hear the deathbed address of Jacob. He's finally at the end of his life. All of his children are assembled around him, and he is giving them blessings and deciding what their lot in life is going to be going forward. And it's just a really, if you studied it in Torah study this week, it's incredibly emotional, and there's all this just beautiful detail about everyone's kind of inner lives, which sometimes feels like we don't get so much in the Torah, so it feels really special. And we see Jacob breathing his final breath, and the text says, Ye'asef el amo, he was gathered to his kin, which feels like such a gorgeous way to describe what's happening here. He's asked to be buried with Abraham and with Sarah in the caves of Machpelah, so he's being gathered to his kin. And Joseph flings himself on his father's bed and he weeps. And then that's the end of the entire book. That's the end of this story, the end of the book of Genesis. And we know that next week we're going to start Exodus, and our story is once again going to accelerate into all of the misfortune that happened after the Pharaoh of this time was succeeded by a newer Pharaoh who did not have the same opinion of the Jews. Yes, that's right, Lynn. Exactly. Yes, and Joseph dies as well. And so we know that the story is going to accelerate forward, and the fortune of the Jews is going to change once again, as we see over and over again throughout history. And we know the struggle that is going to ensue of the hard bondage in Egypt, but not yet. Right now, we're still at the end of this long narrative, this long, hard narrative, with this beautiful hope for forgiveness and for redemption and reconciliation. And we just get to dwell in it for a moment without thinking about what's coming next, knowing that everything in the Torah and in our history is cyclical, but in this moment, there is so much hope and there is so much love. And so I'm feeling that tonight, that we just get to be in this place in the Torah and we just get to be bathed by this hope. So that's my wish for all of us tonight, that we are feeling that light and that hope. And just sending you out the biggest Shabbat Shalom once again. And as we continue on with our service, if you have any thoughts about this parsha that you want to share in the chat box, I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, if something comes up in the next few days, feel free to send me an email or post it in Shir Tikvah chat, which I still follow. So we can continue to marinate on that. As we move into our concluding prayers with Aleinu. Oh, Mourner's Kaddish. So it has been a time of tremendous loss for this community, for the country, for the world. And so this prayer feels heavy at the same time that it's filled with the beauty of remembering those that we love. And so we are in the yahrzeit of Catherine and Natalie, friend of Karen Grossman. And in this year, we remember Kay Anlis, Duffy Brodsky, Lois Lineal, Eliza Sterngeyer, Caroline Hirschfeld, Florence Foreman. And I invite you to share any other names of loved ones you're remembering in the chat box, either here on Zoom or on Facebook. It's the 17th yahrzeit of Edith Frankel, Lynn's grandmother. And if you're still typing, please feel free to keep sharing those names. And we rise in body or in spirit for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'alam u'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithale v'yithalal shemei d'kudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. And we may remain standing for Aleinu, we'll do our call and response. V'hashevota. V'hashevota. If you're standing, I invite you to be seated as we sing our final song, Shalom Aleichem. Oh, not quite final. We'll have one more song after this. Penultimate song. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai dai yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai dai yai dai dai yai dai 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 dai. Now I know we usually end with that song, but I was really feeling Ozi v'Zimrat Yah, just reflecting on the musicality of this congregation and how there's so much strength to be drawn through singing together. So Ozi v'Zimrat Yah felt like the right song to conclude tonight. Ozi v'Zimrat Yah, Vayehi li lishua. Ozi We raise our glasses for our kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'i kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'achata, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amin, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon inchatanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat lechayim. And I don't have a challah, but I'm sure somebody does, so we'll bless that challah out there somewhere. Yes, Lynn to the rescue. Thank you, Lynn. I'm reaching my arms through the internet to touch the challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom. Thank you, Lynn. I'm going to unplug my mic in hopes that I'll be able to hear your voices now.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you so much.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
And
Shabbat
it is a
shalom.
great haircut. And it is a great haircut.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Thanks everybody for being
Shabbat
here.
shalom.
Bless
Thanks.
you
Thanks,
in
Alicia. Thanks, Don.
the Roman New Year.